Welcome to this very special episode of our program Daily Debate, and today we are celebrating the 49th anniversary of the glorious October victory, a day of pride, a day of dignity, a day that represented a proof that the Egyptians and with their capabilities can overcome the toughest moments in the history of Egypt. President Sisi has hailed the October War in 1973 as the day of pride and dignity, in which the Egyptian armed forces defied the impossible. The 1973 victory is an immortal day in the conscience of all Egyptians. And I guess it is also an immortal day for the entire nation, for the entire Arab world at large. It becomes clear that the spirit of October that has been a reason for Egypt's sons to evoke the glorious past so as to proceed in the battles of the present and the future, building on the momentum reaching this day in which we are starting the new republic. This is what we are speaking about tonight. This is what we are celebrating tonight. Before we delve into our discussion and before even starting with our top stories of the day, let's have this short break and we'll come back. Right, welcome back. And before we delve into our discussion, let me first have the top stories of the day. And marking the 49th anniversary of the 6th of October War victory, President Abdel Fattah al-Sisi said the glorious October War remains a turning point in our contemporary history, in which the armed forces have restored the nation's honor and pride and erased the stain of occupation from its lands. In his speech on Facebook, President Sisi saluted the Egyptian people and the armed forces for their courageous and heroism, and also saluted the souls of our martyrs who fought with their lives under the flag of this nation. The head of state also paid respect to the spirit of the hero of war and peace, late President Anwar al-Sadat, who fought the war with confidence in Almighty God and the determination of Egyptian people to achieve the great victory. The president further reiterated that the October War would remain a proof of strength of Egyptians and their adherence to the sovereignty and dignity of the nation. And to our next top story, and on her official social media account, First Lady Mrs. Intisar al-Sisi said Egypt celebrates the 49th anniversary of the glorious October victory, in which our armed forces achieved a military miracle by all standards. The First Lady hailed the Egyptian soldiers' valor and courage in achieving victory and overcoming any obstacles or challenges. She saluted the souls of the Egyptian martyrs who shed their blood for the sake of the country and in defense of its sovereignty and the preservation of its dignity. And in our third top story and last, on the occasion of the 49th anniversary of October victory, President Sisi issued a decree number 458 offering pardon for 1,557 inmates of the Ministry on the Interior's correction centers. The decree came after evaluation reports by the Presidential Pardoning Committee, which recommended the release of the mentioned number. All the released have been offering training courses in a number of crafts to qualify them to lead a normal and decent life after their release. And As I said at the very beginning, tonight we'll be speaking about this glorious moments of our life, the celebration of the 49th anniversary of the October victory, this shining moments in which we are celebrating all together. And to highlight the issue we have with us over the phone, His Excellency Major General Hamdy Bekhait, strategic analyst. Good evening, Your Excellency.
Good evening, Mrs. Mona. Happy to be with you today.
And I'm so happy that you are with us, shedding light on those very precious moments and dear ones in our history always.
The sound is not clear. The sound is not clear.
I will try to raise my voice as much as possible.
That's good. That's good.
Okay. So, speaking about the moments, those moments of glory, let me here take it from the very beginning. This status of our lives between 1967 and 1973 leading to such a victory.
Here I would say that the victory of 1973 has been born from the first moment after 1967.
67, yes.
Directly. We can remember the Battle of Ras al-Aish and destroying the destroyer Eilat, and from this moment we started preparing and regain once again our self-confidence in our army, and the army and themselves could believe that all the theories that the Israeli had launched by that time, the unbeaten forces and the security theory, all these fake statements, they were not affecting or make or represent something that make an obstacle for our forces to achieve this victory. While the attrition war, we started preparing for 1973 war, and we could prepare the armed forces by armament and training, and the strategic planning was very decisive and smart enough to deceive all the intelligence community all over the world, hiding the moment and the day and the month of the operation. This implementations couldn't be carried out unless we have the determination and the capability to, and the desire to achieve this victory and restore our land again. 1967 represents a ring that made us conscious enough to face what is the destiny we are facing by that time. To be or not to be, to restore our lands or to let it be occupied by these forces. And by that time, we could recognize that we don't have any choice except of freeing our lands and restoring the Egyptian territory once again.
Yes. General Bekhait, indeed, since the start of the...
the sound, please, the sound.
Yes, I'll raise my voice again. So, right after 1967, as you said respectively, we started to see and correct what were exactly the wrong path that we went through, and we started evaluating all our probabilities. We started also a new strategy that led to the victory of 1973, and we're speaking here because this very particular time we didn't have enough capabilities. We were not having enough tools. We were not backed enough by the world powers. How did the Egyptian manage to write this story of the success with its very, very limited resources, and really wrote a book that is being taught by all the military academies?
I think that the key word is that we face the truth. We face the truth honestly, and we could evaluate our capabilities and what happened as Israeli forces could achieve surprise and initiative and destroy our plans on the ground, and these wrong orders that given to the forces to withdraw from Sinai to the west. All these fatal mistakes was enough to let us face the truth and know that we have a big task and a very holy mission to start again and restore our land. But here there were three elements that had been achieved through this era. Number one was the national reconciliation. The national reconciliation by 1967 to 1973 was in the top. All the kinds of and the component of the Egyptian community were melting together in a pot. That pot is directed in a very effective way to build the armed forces again, train again, know and feel our responsibility, and choosing the right command and preparing for assaulting the canal and restoring the territory. This reconciliation was extending from the south to the north, from the west to the east, from all the levels of the community. This reconciliation has been extended to contain the Arab world also, as an Arab reconciliation that we found it in the war of 1973. So this is why we can highlight on the reconciliation itself on the national level and on the Arab level, that we have found that many Arab countries were participating in the war. Libya was participating by a wing of Mirage 3, and Algeria was participating by a wing of Mirage 5, and one complete armored brigade that about more than 100 tanks with all its capabilities, their ammunition, their supplies, everything. The Sudan was participating with a brigade, infantry brigade, the Palestinian brigade, the Saudi battalion, the Kuwaiti battalion. This was a spirit of reconciliation that could lead us to achieve this victory and restore the Arab dignity, and by the first stage, the Egyptian dignity. That wouldn't happen from space or nothing. It happened by good thinking, strategic and effective and realistic planning that could lead us to reconciliation. The number two element is the determination, the national determination. The nation, all of its sources, all of its elements, all of its colors, could have the determination to achieve the main goal. They have a main goal to restore the land and free Sinai from the Israeli occupation. This determination was not a kind of words. It was acted on the ground and represented by many attrition and many operation while the attrition war, and building the air defense dam that caused Israel a lot of casualties in the planes and the pilots themselves, which is very expensive. At the same time, we can see this determination had been represented clearly in the clarity of the goal, the planning, the building, the capabilities of cadres and officers and training the people, using the valid capabilities to the maximum. So this represented the determination, how the nation was completely determined that we have to restore our lands again. The third element was the awareness, the national awareness. The nation was on the top of awareness, and the awareness started from the families and the schools, the universities, the non-governmental organization, the media, which played a very active and distinguished role by that time. So when we evaluate the awareness of the nation by that time, we could find that the nation was like a solid wall that can face rumors and all doubts about the relation between the people and their armed forces. That was the nation's that was the nation's condition by that time. They were feeling the responsibility and faced it and could build up and implement all the capable or the possible capabilities and resources to achieve this goal.
Here, General Bekhait, you pinpointed your finger on a very important... can you hear me? Hello?
Excuse me, the sound.
Yes, I'll try to raise my voice as much as possible. You pinpointed your finger on a very important matter, which is the battle of awareness and the spirit of the nation. This national and patriotic spirit that evolved at that moment. Your Excellency,
the role of the women in Egypt by that time on the level of the nation.
Not just women, but the spirit of nationalism that evolved in the whole nation.
I told you that the national reconciliation was a melting pot, contained all the sorts or the component of the community, including the women, who gave everything. They gave their jewelry, they gave their sons, they gave everything. They helped the people in the hospitals. They offered all the possible efforts to help the country and its facilities to succeed in facing the complications of this operation. Add to that the civilian community. The civilian community has participated in this war. Factories that was making the ration and the food of the forces, transportation companies that helped us to transfer all the capabilities and logistics to the front. At the same time, we cannot forget the construction companies that helped building the command and control posts and the bases of air defense and others. All the Egyptian community was participating in this operation with all the possible capabilities.
Finally, here General Bekhait, and we're speaking of a victory and elements existing at that timing, and today we are facing new elements, new wars. the battle of awareness of the new fourth and fifth generation of war. And how important is it to restore the spirit we had at then? And how important is it for us to be aware of the elements that are existing today?
Restoring the spirit of 1973 and fighting against the fourth generation of what we call it scientifically information war. This is a new era of using high level of technology. We need to nationalize technology to face how far this kind of operation, information operation and information war, this is a high standard of technological capabilities that could be used in in 7 kinds of war. One of them is command and control wars. Command and control wars is playing on separating the brain of the nation from the nation itself, the brain of the command and control units from the unit themselves. At the same time, we can't forget the electronic warfare. Now the technology is very highly improved in this field, and to let the enemy know and hear and see what you are doing by moment, every moment, by many technological methods like spaceships and other. Let's go to another war, the psychological warfare. And this is the most important and vital one. Hello? Hello?
Yes, yes, yes.
This is the most vital and the important one because it is directed to the people themselves to destroy their capability, to destroy their determination, to destroy their national spirit, to destroy their loyalty and discipline and ethics.
Instigate sedition among people, making them lose their confidence of many of the main principles.
That's what I'm saying. Exactly. The ethics of the nation. They are trying to defeat ethics that build this self-confidence all over the history, and especially while 1973. By 1973, we were hearing and listening to some lectures given by many international experts. They said one word, that the key word of this war was the human being, the Egyptian human being. So from that time and on, a big machine of psychological warfare was directed to the Egyptian human being. At the same time, we need to, as I told you before, we need to have a national awareness against all these wars.
Yes,
we can't forget the computer programs warfare, the cyber warfare, and communication warfare. This is a high level of technological warfare that used the title the fourth generation or the fifth generation. Mm-hmm. So the enemy is completely different. Using terrorism is completely different. This is unconventional warfare. You need to prepare the forces, the armed forces and security forces to face this kind of operation, terrorism operation, by unconventional tactics and methodology and theories of fighting. So the threat is completely different and coming from every strategic direction. So this is why we have to be prepared on every strategic direction with military capabilities, technological capabilities, even the command and control system that lead these forces should be alert and on the high standard of level of conflict. So this is why the matter is completely different. But one thing is remaining. the awareness of the nation, national awareness, national determination, national reconciliation.
And the conscience of people. Major General Hamdy Bekhait, a strategic analyst, thank you so much for being with us.